Hello, my name is Anna. Tonight, I want to tell you about my very first Halloween night. It is my story, told in simple English, and I hope you can listen, relax, and maybe smile with me. I woke up early in the morning, and the air was a little cold. I remembered it was October 31st, the day of Halloween. I felt excited, but also nervous. It was my first time to join a real Halloween party, and I wanted it to be special. I looked in my closet for a costume. There were many normal clothes, jeans, t-shirts, jackets, and one red dress. None of them looked scary or funny. I tried some ideas. First, I wanted to be a vampire. I put on the red dress and cut 2 white straws to make vampire teeth. But when I put them in my mouth, they hurt and fell out. I laughed and gave up. Next, I wanted to be a witch. I wore a black skirt and a black top. I tried to make a witch hat from black paper. I rolled the paper into a cone and taped it together. But when I put it on my head, it looked like a sad ice cream cone. It fell off many times. I laughed again and said, "No, not witch." I thought about being a ghost. I put a white sheet over my head, but the sheet was too small. It covered only my face and shoulders. I looked like a tablecloth, not a ghost. I sighed and smiled. Finally, I had a new idea. I could be a cat. Cats are simple and cute. I wore black pants and a black t-shirt. I took an eyeliner and drew whiskers on my face. They were not straight. They looked like noodles. I cut a small pink triangle from paper and taped it to my nose. I put my hair in 2 buns, like cat ears. I looked in the mirror and laughed. Yes, I said, this is my costume. I was a funny little cat. In the afternoon, I wanted to make a pumpkin. I went to the market and saw many pumpkins, big and small. I chose one medium pumpkin that was round and orange. I carried it home in my arms. It was heavy, and I felt like a strong pumpkin hero. A small boy in a superhero costume saw me and shouted, "Nice pumpkin." I shouted back, "Thank you, hero." At home, I put the pumpkin on the table. I cut the top and looked inside. It was full of seeds and strings. It looked like pumpkin brains. I laughed and scooped them out with a spoon. The sound was squish, squish, squish. My hands became messy, but I did not care. I drew 2 triangle eyes, a triangle nose, and a big smile. I cut slowly, and when I finished, the pumpkin looked surprised. I put a candle inside and turned off the light. The pumpkin glowed warmly, and the room felt magical. When evening came, I prepared candy for children. I filled a big bowl with chocolate, lollipops, and cookies. Soon, the bell rang. I opened the door. 3 children stood there. One was a ghost, one was a princess, and one was a potato. Yes, a potato. The potato boy was very serious and said, "Candy, please." I almost laughed too much, but I gave them sweets and said, "Here you go, ghost, princess, and potato." More children came. A vampire with blue shoes, a robot made of a cardboard box, a banana, and even a little girl dressed like a cat. She pointed at me and said, "Same." I smiled and said, "Yes, cat sisters." My heart felt warmed. Later, I walked to Lily's house for the party. I carried my pumpkin in a box and my cookies in a bag. The street was full of decorations, orange lights, fake spiders, and one skeleton in a chair. The skeleton wore sunglasses. I waved and said, "Good night, Mr. Skeleton." He did not answer, of course, but I laughed. At Lily's door, a giant hamburger opened the door. I screamed and then laughed when I saw it was Ben in a hamburger costume. Nice whiskers, he said. Nice ketchup, I answered. We both laughed inside. The house was full of people in costumes. A pirate, a zombie, a fairy, a dinosaur, a bus, and even a detective. The dinosaur was green and soft. When she tried to drink juice, she could not see the cup. I helped her and said, "Here you go, dinosaur." She smiled. We played games. First, apple bobbing. We had to catch apples with our mouths in water. I tried and my face went splash. My whiskers washed away, and now I was a wet cat. Everyone laughed, and I laughed too. After many tries, I caught one apple. Victory! We also played Guess the Sound. Lily played sounds on her phone. A door creak, a cat meow, a ghost sound. I guessed 2 correct. I guessed 1 wrong because I thought a microwave beep was a tiny ghost. I laughed at myself. Then we had a costume parade. Everyone walked like a model. The pirate shouted "R." The zombie walked slowly. The dinosaur said "rawr." But it sounded soft. I walked like a cat with noodle whiskers. People clapped. Lily gave funny awards. I won funniest cat. I held my paper award and bowed. We carved another pumpkin together. Lily made triangle eyes and a star mouth. Ben put a candle inside. Now 2 pumpkins glowed in the window, side by side with mine. They looked like a family. The night moved slowly and sweetly. We ate cupcakes with candy eyes, and we drank orange punch. We danced a little, even the dinosaur danced. We laughed many times. When I went home, I carried my pumpkin back. I put it on the table and lit the candle again. The orange light filled the room. I sat quietly and thought about the night. The children, the potato boy, the costumes, the dinosaur, the hamburger, the games, and the pumpkins. I felt warm in my heart. I blew out the candle, changed my clothes, and lay down in bed. I closed my eyes and smiled. In my dream, I saw pumpkins, cats, bananas, and a dancing dinosaur. I laughed in my sleep. That was my first Halloween night. It was not scary. It was not perfect. But it was full of light, laughter, and kindness. And that, for me, was the real Halloween magic.